Rockets like these three are used for a variety of reasons, such as military purposes, missiles, fireworks, satellite placement, and soon commercial space travel. Kind of like buying plane tickets, but instead of a plane, you're taking a rocket to space. Humans have been interested in rockets since the Chinese first invented fireworks in 1100 AD. Since then, rockets have progressed to carry humans and satellites into space. One important rocket to know about is the Saturn V. The Saturn V was a three-stage rocket. Each would fire its rockets and continue into space. The first stage would move the entire Saturn V into space. Then it would break off. The second stage would shoot you about halfway to the moon. Then it would break off. Then the third stage would launch you and your tiny little command capsule to the moon. This is so powerful that, let me see, it could launch 10 school buses into space, but only launch 4 school buses to the moon. And with the amount of fuel that this uses, you could if you put all the fuel that you had in the Saturn V into a car that got 30 miles to the gallon, then you could go around the Earth 800 times.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Another important rocket to know about is the Shuttle. The Shuttle was propelled by 2 rockets during the first 2 minutes of flight. Those 2 really got off the platform and into space. Then they broke off, and the external fuel tank emptied itself into the orbiter like that. Then once it was empty, it broke off, and then the thrusters on the orbiter would send you and your crew orbiting Earth, our main giant. And since the space shuttle was discontinued in 2011, the private companies like SpaceX, Virgin Galactic, and Amazon have invested in reusable rockets and public space travel. Like SpaceX's Falcon 9, I saw this go up while I was in Florida during Christmas break. Here's the video. This is it landing. The reason why they're cheering so much is that the Falcon 9, it launches vertically and then it lands vertically in the same spot. This is the first time that rockets have ever done this. That's it after it's landed. Yeah. So, and then another company that I mentioned, Virgin Galactic, it hopes to use the Falcon 9 to have the general public go into space, experience a few minutes of weightlessness, and then come back down. The Falcon 9's first flight, which you just see here, was to launch several different satellites into orbit out of the Dragon capsule up at the top. All of these rockets were created by hundreds of different scientists from around the Earth, all to create these three rockets: the Saturn V, the Shuttle, and the Falcon 9. all helping us get further and further into space. As even more progress is made to help us get to Mars. Once we do that, sky's the limit, literally. Do any of you have any questions about? Yeah, so.
The first rocket you talked about.
The Saturn V?
Uh-huh. You said people were in it?
Yes. There were. Well, this was used during the Apollo program, which got us to the moon. So all of your crew is in this tiny little thing.
Okay, so if all of those broke off, how do you
your command capsule? You would pilot it down to Earth, and then it would spring a parachute and float down.
Like you don't know where it's gonna land?
It hopefully always lands in water, in a selected drop point. A few times we wound up in a different ocean, but yeah. Most of the time, of course.
Do you know what type of rocket they're using to get to Mars?
Yes, that's the Space Launch System. The problem with Mars is that you need a rocket 5 times more powerful than the Saturn V, and the Space Launch System is 6 times powerful. So, yeah, that'll help. Maggie?
I have two. First of all, do you have a favorite rocket?
I don't know. These are all some really nice rockets. I do like the Saturn V just because of the, I don't know, just the sheer power of the thing is a little. It's nice. But then the Falcon 9, I like that just because it's the first of its kind. So.
And then, so the Shuttle Challenger, is that what you drew up there, or is that just a shuttle?
The generic shuttle, like I could have chose Atlantis, Columbia.
Because I read about the Shuttle Challenger and
Yeah.
that was really fun.
Christopher?
I got two. First, the space shuttle, the fuel tank looks like a hot dog.
Yeah, it actually is orange. It does kind of look like a hot dog.
And
Gene?
how many?
Oh, sorry.
How many days does it take to make one whole rocket ship?
Days? I'd say more year.
How much years?
2, 3.
2 years.
2 or 3, yeah. It's not a short process. But the orbiter can be reused. As it lands on the shuttle, then once everything breaks off, it lands like a plane. So they can reuse every single part of the shuttle except the fuel tank. Eugene?
How did you get interested in this topic?
And there it is. Okay. Well, I went to space camp, Camp KSC, for 3 days while I was in Florida. That was really fun, and it was also interesting because on my first night of space camp, the Falcon 9 went up. We actually watched it. We took a video. Yeah, we watched it go up and down, but our video wasn't as good as this, so we decided to show that one.
We weren't that close.
Yeah, we weren't that close. Dylan?
Can't you just refill the?
Well, yes, but there's a couple different things, like during re-entry it really gets burned up. It's hard to salvage that. But everything else is really easy. You just need to refuel these. You just need to stuff the solid rocket fuel back in there, and then you get a fresh heat shield on the orbiter, and then you're ready to go. That's it.
What was your secondary?
Secondary resource, almost. I had several different books. Probably my best resource for that was the the Shuttle. It's called Shuttle. It's a book. And then another a good website was the NASA's official website, the Saturn V and the Shuttle. Anna?
I think you use for your secondary is the job.
The Shuttle and NASA's official website.
What do all the how does the space shuttle land and go up and down?
No, this doesn't go up and down. This one goes up and down. This one, everything breaks off and then they reuse it. But the shuttle, so at first it looks like this when it's getting off the launch pad. But then it comes down. It's like a glider and hits the runway and then everybody comes out.
Just like a plane.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was the idea. Maggie,
So what did you use as your primary resource?
space coast.
Okay.
Eric?
So you said that the fuel tank was extremely hard to salvage. What about the two the two boosters that
Those drop into the ocean. So,
like do they drop in with it when you're in the atmosphere or when you're in space?
once they help you get into the atmosphere, and then they break off, and then the orbiter's engines they do the rest. Sydney?
Where did you get that?
I got that 5 years ago. Lego catalog. Ms.
Yes, I think that you said that people from all over the world helped to create the Falcon 9.
No.
Oh.
That was mainly SpaceX, that corporation, but then
Oh, okay.
yeah. But
I was wondering, how was Florida chosen as the launch?
well, mostly because Kennedy Space Center is there. That's where I went to camp. That was created by John F. Kennedy, and so it's good because it's a coastal island. There's a lot of ocean nearby, so there's also lots of islands. So it's a good place for one base. Is fun hard?
So you're talking about the space shuttle and how it lifts off. You said the other parts break away. Where do they, at what point does that happen and where do they go?
They all drop into the ocean, hopefully. But then, well, yeah, they drop into the ocean. They drop into the ocean, and then the recovery team comes in and brings it back onto the land so they can be reused.
Right, so they land. So ideally, they land in the ocean.
Yeah.
Has it ever happened that they didn't land in an ocean?
No, one time we hit the wrong ocean, but we did. But
And there's a recovery team that goes in and gets it.
yeah.
How does that job work? Do you know?
No. Mom?
What are the primary missions of the space shuttle?
Well, the space shuttle was used to build the International Space Station, which will be visible. Was it Saturday? This Saturday from 5 p.m. to 6:02 in the west to the northwest, and at 32 degrees in the sky as it goes across. Jalen?
In some of the launches in space shuttle, has any of the fuel tanks from the fire, has any of them blew up?
Yes. What was it? Did you say the Challenger?
Shuttle Challenger.
Yeah, the Shuttle Challenger.
Blew
That
up 30
blew up
years ago.
like a few minutes into flight.
2 minutes. in the
2
flight.
minutes into flight. So just as the boosters would be breaking off, that killed 7 people.
There was a teacher on there.
Yeah.
Wait, my sister told me about that.
Elementary, I think that this is a fascinating topic, and
and you all have great questions, and we are so lucky to have Michael in our classroom, where if you did not get your question answered, you can talk to him later. So we're going to have to, close our presentation so that we can pass out Friday folders and get ready to go. Let's give Michael a round of applause.